That's heavy.
It's heavy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe an inch or two.
Woo.
That's got some force. Holy crap.
Yep, that's really hard.
Well done, man. So hopefully you've been watching some archery at the Olympics, and this week in Tokyo we've had the top archers in the world go head to head in some incredible matches.
I think that is Olympic champion. We have ourselves an Olympic champion!
But it's not exactly the same style of archery you see in Lord of the Rings, is it? So how hard can it really be when you have these fancy bows with sights and stabilizers and clickers and all these other contraptions bolted on?
How hard can it be?
So in today's video, we're going to give some regular people an opportunity to show us just how easy it is to shoot an Olympic style recurve bow. Let's see how they do.
Whoa. That's heavy. Whoa, this is heavy.
It's heavy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got this, man.
Yep, that's really hard. Okay. So you have to pull all the way back with just those 3 fingers.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for you.
So
So push as well. Yes.
Yep. And then concentrate through that little. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then hold that at 70 meters.
Okay. Yeah, that's really intense. Yeah. Oh,
Nice job.
thank
Well done.
you. Thanks.
1 finger above and 2 below.
like that?
Yep. And you know the drill. I'm nice and straight. All the way back underneath the chin, string touching the nose. Aiming in the middle.
Oh.
That's right, start again. Remember, aim this. Yeah.
Woo.
That's got some force. Holy crap.
Oh yeah, you can feel the difference. I really do.
What do you notice?
Compared to the other tension. You don't have a lot of time to, like, you know, when you're aiming.
Yes.
2 seconds is, yeah, once
plenty.
you start, you're shaking. And, yeah.
So how many times do you reckon you should have in a day?
Right now, maybe 5.
Pretty good though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a big, strong bloke, so you know. It's, and what do you notice about the weight of the bow?
Oh, it's definitely heavier.
Yeah.
Like you can feel like all this stabilized.
It's heavier than you think,
Yeah,
right?
you've
Yeah.
got to sort of, use a bit more strength to prop it up.
All the way back underneath the chin. Arm nice and straight. Yeah. Touching the nose. Start hitting in the middle. 1, 2, release. Hey, in the yellow. Nice shot. Back to 70 meters for you. It's heavy, right?
No, so it's sort of maybe an inch or two.
Hard work. Well done, man. Don't hurt yourself. Good.
Yeah, probably that's the real life equivalent to Thor's hammer. It's just a bow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You gotta be worthy to pull it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You got it. Aiming in the middle.
Yep.
Well done, man. I'm nice and straight. Pull it. You got this. Oh, well done, bro. Good job.
No, it's too hard for me.
Give me a round of applause, guys. That was a solid effort.
It's always good to give it a try.
Absolutely. Whoa, good job, man.
Oh.
So this is the weapon of choice for our Olympic archers, and this is a modern recurve style target bow. Now, it's called a recurve bow because of the shape of the limb here. And recurve bows have been around for thousands of years. They've been used for a very long time for hunting and warfare. What makes this a modern target style recurve bow is the virtue of the sight ring. And if you can see that there's a small little ring here which forms our aiming reference point, and this allows us to be much more consistent and accurate. Now, the other obvious thing that you see when you look at one of these bows are these stabilizers. Now, the stabilizers have 2 primary functions. The first one is to stabilize. So what that means is we're shooting 70 meters in competition. To put that in perspective, our beginners today trying out this bow were shooting about 7 meters. So at 70 meters, to be able to hit the yellow and hit the 10 ring and score maximum points, you need to be very, very precise with your aiming. So in a similar way to a tightrope walker might use a balance beam, an Olympic archer uses stabilizers to help steady the bow and help us to improve our accuracy and consistency. Now, the second function of the stabilizers is to improve the reaction of the bow on the release. You see, when you release the string, the bow will want to jump, a bit like the recoil of a handgun. So the weights on the stabilizers, particularly on the long rod here, will counteract that effort. And so as the bow wants to jump and flick upwards like this, the weight on the long rod will counteract that. And so the bow will jump forward as the limbs spring forward and propel the arrow. And then, due to the weight on the end of the long rod, the bow will tilt down, won't it? And complete a bow roll. Now, the other thing that you'll notice about Olympic archers is that on the release of the string, the bow will roll forward like this, won't it? Now, this is not just for style points. This is actually an important part of the shot process, because if you squeeze the bow tightly, as you squeeze it, the bow will want to twist. And that's because of torque. So torque is a twisting force, and it only takes an imperceptible level of torque at 70 meters to change the arrow from a 10 to a 7. So to be able to shoot like our top archers do in the Olympics, it needs to be very consistent. And that means we shoot with a relaxed hand. We're not squeezing the grip at all. And on the reaction of the release, the bow will jump forward, and due to the weight on the end of the long rod, it will drop down and we will catch it in a simple finger sling like this. And that is why we do the bow roll. So the final piece of fancy equipment on these modern style target bows is actually called the clicker. Now the clicker, believe it or not, is actually quite a simple device. What happens is, as the archer loads the bow, the arrow will be loaded underneath the clicker like this. Now, as they come into the full draw position, they will not just hold, they will continue to expand through the shot until the clicker drops, and that forms an audible signal to the archer that they've reached the optimal position and it's time to release. Now, this is important for a number of reasons. First of all, if you pull the bow back a little bit further or not quite as far each time and you have an inconsistent draw length, that gets a different power out of the bow, and it's going to create vertical groupings on the target. But it's so much more than just pulling and pulling and pulling until the clicker goes. It actually takes an incredible amount of skill and control to be in control of when the clicker goes off. So the best archers in the world are very precise and consistent in their technique so that the draw length comes into the exact point every single time. And then they control their expansion and when the clicker goes off for precise timing and a very high level of skill and accuracy. Now when it comes to actually drawing the bow, pulling it back, the draw weight of the bow can vary from archer to archer. Now at the highest level, the men might be shooting around 46 to 52 pounds and the women might shoot around 38 to 46, something like that. Now that requires quite a bit of strength, but archery is not considered primarily a strength-based sport. It's considered a technique-based sport. And that's because we put a considerable amount of effort into the biomechanically efficient way of drawing the bow using rotation through the core muscles, as well as an engagement of the larger muscles in the back and shoulders to draw the bow. This means that in the full draw position, a lot of the weight of the bow is stacked on the skeletal structure rather than loading the smaller muscles in the arm and forearm, which are much more susceptible to fatigue, causing a lot more inconsistency. So there you go. Hopefully this video has helped you understand just a little bit more about Olympic style archery. I think our beginners did pretty good today with the heavy bow. And so it should highlight to you just how difficult it is and how skilled the archers are competing at the highest level in the Olympics. Now, archery is an incredibly complex technical sport, and it also requires a lot of mental fortitude, which we haven't even touched on in this video. So if you're interested in trying out archery, there are ranges all around the world that offer introductory programs and classes. So you should definitely go check out your local range, and I hope to see you on the range very soon.